Title, Fate of Leone, written by Christine T. Pahana. Chapter 3, Skeletons in the Closet. I was blind from smoke, and I was suffocating because my lungs were gasping for air. Reaching out to see if any was next to me, I hear screaming and crying, "Help me, please help me." "Wakey, wakey, wakey!" Looking all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Samantha wakes me up from a bad dream, holding tightly to my locket. "Are you coming down with something? You look a little pale, and it looks like you have been sweating." "Nothing. I was just having a bad dream." Samantha is trying to make light of the situation, so she gives me a brand new alarm clock. "It seems like your clock is not working again. I took the liberty in buying you a new one that works, so here you go." She plugged it in, and the clock had big, bright blue fluorescent numbers, which was set to 2 hours early. This clock will be the death of me. I just know it. I was about to correct the time. Samantha suggested, "Don't do that. I think it's better that way instead of hitting the snooze button all the time." Why did I agree with all of this? I should be grateful, though. I guess she's trying to keep me from getting into trouble again with Mr. Boyd. Then something suddenly dawned on me, realizing the nightmare I just had. "What day is it today?" "Friday," Samantha answers with an odd look. "It's Friday what?" Feeling exasperated. "October 11. Are you losing your marbles, Maya?" Feeling my heart racing and my chest tightening up, I had the overwhelming urge to burst into tears. I excused myself to go to the bathroom, trying hard not to make it obvious I was kicking her out of my room. "Samantha, I'm going to freshen up and get ready. Meet you downstairs, okay? And then, for the clock, it was thoughtful for you, so thank you." "All right." She looked kind of concerned with my sporadic behavior. I catch my breath, trying to brace myself from falling to the floor because my legs suddenly felt weak. 4 years ago, I had nightmares every night for a year. It would wake me up in a cold sweat. I would hyperventilate and feared of a heart attack because of the impending pressure on my chest. The nightmares lessened as the years passed, and then they were gone. Why, other than my internal clock reminding me of that horrid day, did my nightmares suddenly come back? Something had to trigger it, but I don't know what. Part of me died that day with those poor souls that lost their lives in a tragic accident, and nothing will ever change the fact that the 2 lives that I so briefly encountered perished because of me. I'll be carrying that burden for the rest of my life. Shaking off the memory, I put it in the back of my mind, like I always do when I cope. I finally go downstairs to the kitchen and see a warm cooked breakfast meal with a warm cup of cocoa neatly set on the table. "I noticed you hardly have anything in your fridge, so I went grocery shopping last night while you were asleep. I hope you don't mind, and I thought maybe I would drive us to work. Thank you for letting me stay here with you till I find a place of my own. Don't worry, I got it all under control." Samantha talking a million miles a minute. "Okay, well, I guess we should get going if we want to beat traffic." "Not like that you aren't. Look at your hair." "And what is wrong with it?" "First off, we need to tone down your voice. I'm trying to help you. Mr. Boyd likes a clean, perfect French braid. He's very particular. Trust me." "Yes, I know how particular he is. You don't have to remind me, Samantha." "I will fix your hair while you eat, and hopefully by then you won't be so snappy." I don't know why Samantha gets on my nerve. Clearly she's being nice to me, and lately she's been nothing but helpful. Maybe I need to change gears and lighten up a little. It is going to take some work. As she rushed out of the door, I was busy getting my purse, keys, and jacket. "Honk! Any day now, Maya." Walking out of the house, I noticed a pearl-white XK Jaguar parked on the curve. I looked at both directions to look for the SUV she drove yesterday, and there were no other cars in sight. That can't be hers. The window of the driver's side of the Jaguar rolled down. Samantha screams, "What's the holdup?" Walking slowly towards the car, admiring it, I finally get in and notice the brand new car smell, like she just drove it out of the lot of a dealership. Do you have a second job that I don't know about? She looks at me at the corner of her eye and smiles. Kind of. Then she rebuttals back. That is a nice house you have, Maya. I believe the houses in your neighborhood are in the 400 to 500 range. My mom and dad help with a large down payment. I lied. It was unusual for me to walk leisurely into work. I usually come into work rushing in. Well, well, look at you, said Mr. Boyd with a content look. You are early and your braid is on point. You must have had a nice day off yesterday. If he only knew. From across the room, Samantha gives me a quick smile and a wink of approval. I just shrugged back. I didn't want to give her the satisfaction. Today was slowly turning out to be really great. Samantha and Mr. Boyd were actually not getting on my nerves. Instead of being irate, customers were complimenting me. Tips were generous. Everything seemed so perfect, and suddenly I felt a sense of normalcy in this godforsaken world. In the midst of enjoying my world of grandeur, it suddenly was interrupted by the gnawing bell of the door. In comes this magnanimous presence. A tall, muscular man, well-groomed and clean-cut, with the most striking jet-black, wavy hair, a great contrast to his fair skin and incredible blue eyes. You know the saying, some people wear their clothes and not the other way around. The navy blue sweatshirt he was wearing had a V-cut neckline that teasingly showed off a slight definition of his upper chest. The shirt hugged his perfect torso, as well as his curved biceps, and the black jeans seemed to be custom-made. I never seen a man wear a pair of jeans the way he wore them. It fit him like a glove, showing all his natural assets. The way he walked was so confident, almost intimidating, that it made me lose my train of thought. For a second, I forgot where I was. Every woman in the room stopped whatever they were doing and gawks. My fellow waitresses turned beet red. I don't know what the deal was, except for the fact that he was gorgeous. No waitress was tending to him. Where was everyone? I quickly walked up to him. How many in your party? I asked. Just me. He looked melancholy. His deep voice even stood out, resonating through my ears, making the hair on the back of my neck stand on end. Weird, that has never happened to me before. Outside patio or inside? He answered with a perplexed look. Inside will be fine. Okay, follow me. As I showed him to his table, he had this unsatisfied smile. I'm sorry, you don't like this table? May I ask how long have you been working here? About 3 years. It seems like you just started. I beg your pardon? I'm sorry, ma'am, but everyone who works here knows I always sit at that corner booth. Trying to keep my composure, but I lost it. Well, how often do you come here? I've been working here for a while, and I've not once seen you grace your presence in this restaurant till this evening. Then he continues with a more condescending and obnoxious attitude. If you check in C, the black book list, you will see my name and the table that I always sit in, requiring no need for reservation. I felt the blood suddenly drain from my face. The normalcy and confidence I was once enjoying was short-lived. The black book list. Why of all days I forget about the black book list? The list that Samantha so kindly reminded me about, and I blew her off. I'm so sorry, Mr. Lennox. Mr. Boyd not looking content as he was this morning, careful not trying to make a scene. His vein on his forehead was very noticeable. No need to apologize, Danny. Danny? Since when do customers address Mr. Boyd by his first name? I promise this will never happen again. Let me seat you to your table with your favorite wine on the house, perhaps? It is unnecessary. There's no harm done, really. I just want a quiet, peaceful dinner to myself. Done. Do you need a menu or usual? The usual, please. While I continue to look over, still confused who he was, Samantha pulls me to the side. Do you have any idea who he is? No, I don't. Wide-eyed and surprised. How can you not know who he is? Don't you watch TV shows or the news? Honestly, no. No? Yeah, I don't have TV. What planet do you live on? Are you going to tell me who he is, or are we just going to play million questions? She made a long sigh with a serious look like she is going to give me a detailed summary. He's Gabriel Lennox. And he's the most talked about, most available rich bachelor, and not to mention the most gorgeous looking man alive. Okay, calm down, Samantha. You're about to have an orgasm. Seriously, Maya, this guy is important. His older brother Stephen is a big deal too. They bleed money, so when they are here, it's not a good time to make a mistake. You mean Stephen Lennox? That's correct. I really don't see the resemblance. They look nothing alike. Didn't Mr. Boyd brief you about them? They're very important. Okay, now you're making it sound like there's some kind of mafia. Samantha was about to respond, but Mr. Boyd yanks me by the arm, making sure Mr. Lennox sees it. You might be the luckiest person alive or the dumbest person to set foot on this earth. Had he known what I was before I moved here, he wouldn't be talking to me this way.